Hey YouTubers, welcome to the Cyber Overwatch channel. I'm Pragmatic One. In part 4 of the Nmap Scan All of the Things series, I will try to provide a comprehensive overview of Nmap and its capabilities. In this video, I will cover detection capabilities, including version and OS detection. In addition, I will also go over Nmap scripting engine, also known as NSE, and the NSE script types and phases. Finally, I will review Nmap's firewall and IDS evasion techniques, as well as Nmap's output options. If you find this content informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. You can also read through the blog post located in the description. For more content, please regularly check back on www.cybersec.com. Nmap's primary function is port scanning, where it can identify open ports on a remote machine and determine services that might be running on them using its Nmap services database of over 2,200 well-known services. Relying solely on this information can be an issue, as people may run services on unconventional ports or choose ports based on firewall restrictions. When performing vulnerability assessments or network inventories, it is crucial to identify the services such as mail or DNS servers and versions being used. This information can be helpful in determining which exploits a server is vulnerable to, although security fixes can also be backported to earlier versions of the software, causing a false positive. Determining the services types, the version numbers, is important as multiple services can share the same port number. Nmap's version detection feature can reveal other information about the target, including the info field that may contain SSH protocol numbers or Apache modules. It can also uncover configured host names, device types, as well as operating systems. Nmap obtains all this data by connecting to open ports and probing the services for more information. In doing so, Nmap can provide a detailed assessment of what is running on the target beyond identifying open ports. Nmap scans open or open filtered TCP ports to identify the services running on them. Nmap first checks if the port is excluded and then establishes a TCP connection to the open port. If the connection is successful, Nmap listens for about 5 seconds for a welcome banner. If a response is received, Nmap compares it with 3,000 null probe signatures in its Nmap service probe file. If a match is found, the service is identified and scanning for the port stops. For UDP ports, Nmap sequentially executes a list of probes that match the port being scanned. Responses are compared to signature regular expressions, and a match ends the processing for the remote service. For UDP ports, Nmap sequentially executes a list of probes that match a port being scanned. Responses are compared to signature regular expression, and a match ends the processing for a remote service. If a response is received from the open/filtered UDP port, the state is changed to open. Nmap utilizes several automatic techniques to speed up scans. It uses generic probes that match many services and tries only those probes that can potentially match service. Version detection parameters -(s)V, also known as version scan, instructs Nmap to perform service version detection as part of its scanning process. Service version detection is the process of determining the specific version of the software running on the particular service, such as web server or FTP server, by analyzing its response to various probes sent by Nmap. -A, also known as aggressive scan, Nmap will perform OS and version detection, script scanning, and traceroute detection. It is essentially a combination of several other flags that enable more comprehensive and intrusive scanning techniques. If you are on an engagement, this technique is very loud and more than likely will get you caught. Nmap's OS detection capabilities are extensive, with a vast database of heuristics that can identify thousands of different systems based on how they respond to a selection of TCP/IP probes. Additionally, Nmap's version detection feature includes a system that interrogates open TCP or UDP ports to determine device types and OS details. These two systems work together to provide comprehensive and accurate results. The results of the OS and version detection are reported separately, allowing you to easily identify combinations of systems, such as a checkpoint firewall forwarding port 80 to a Windows IIS server. With these powerful capabilities, Nmap is a valuable tool for network administrators looking to gain insight into their network infrastructure. Nmap's OS detection attributes include device type. Nmap's fingerprinting capability allows for the identification of devices based on how they respond to certain probes. Each fingerprint is assigned one or more high-level device types, such as routers, printers, firewalls, or general-purpose device. In some cases, a device may fall under multiple categories, which will be separated by a pipe symbol. Running attribute provides information related to the OS classification scheme and shows the OS family and OS generation if available. When Nmap cannot accurately identify the OS generation, it shows multiple options separated by the pipe symbol. If Nmap finds too many OS families to print concisely, it will omit the line. When there is no perfect matches, Nmap changes the field to running just guessing in parentheses and adds an accuracy percentage, 100% for a perfect match, in parentheses for each candidate family name. If no fingerprints are close matches, the line is omitted as well. Attribute OS CPE displays the common platform enumeration, otherwise known as CPE, representation of the operating system if it is available. The CPE is a standardized way to identify software applications and operating systems. The OS CPE begins with the prefix CPE:/O, followed by the vendor name, product name, and version. In addition to the operating system, there may also be CPE representation of hardware types, which begins with the prefix CPE:/H. This can help to identify the specific types of hardware that is running the operating system. OS Details provides a detailed description of each fingerprint that has been matched. Unlike the device type and running lines, which are predefined lists that are easy for computers to parse, the OS Details line contains free-form data that is useful to human readers. This information can include more precise version numbers, device models, and specific architecture associated with the particular fingerprint. Uptime guess. This is a rough estimation of how long a target system has been running based on the TCP timestamp option algorithm used for OS detection. Nmap sends several SYNAC TCP packets and looks at the headers for the timestamp option. The increment rate of the timestamp option is used to determine the current values and rate of increase, and simple linear extrapolation is used to estimate the boot time. The accuracy of this estimate can be affected by various factors, including operating systems that do not start the timestamp counter at 0 or that eventually overflow and wrap around. Therefore, the uptime guess is labeled as guess and is only printed in verbose mode if it is available and seems reasonable. The line is omitted if the target does not reply or the Nmap cannot discern the timestamp increment rate. Network distance. Network distance is a measurement of the number of hops between scanning machine and target host. The hop count is calculated based on the number of routers that are encountered on the path between the two devices. When scanning a machine on the same network segment, the network distance is 1. If the target is located on a different network, the network distance will be higher, with each additional router adding 1 to the hop count. It's important to note that the network distance is only computed if Nmap receives a response to the relevant probe. If no response is received, the network distance line is omitted from the output. TCP sequence prediction describes the ISN generation algorithm used by the target, and difficulty is a rough estimate of how hard the system makes blind IP spoofing. 0 is the easiest. It is labeled in parentheses based on the difficulty index and ranges from trivial joke, easy, medium, formidable, worthy challenge, and finally good luck. IP ID sequence generation describes the algorithm used by the target host to generate the IP ID field. Nmap classifies the IP ID generation algorithm into 3 categories: incremental, or TI, where the IP ID field is incremented by 1 for each successive packet sent by the system. This algorithm is vulnerable to idle scan attacks and can be abused for other malicious purposes. Constant, or CI, where the IP ID field remains constant for all packets sent by the system. This algorithm is less vulnerable to the idle scan attacks but can still reveal information about the system's traffic levels. Incremental, with large initial value, or II, where the IP ID field starts at a large random value and increments by 1 for each successive packet sent by the system. This algorithm is more secure than the incremental algorithm but can still reveal some information about the system's traffic levels. Thank you for watching this video on the Cyber Overwatch channel. If you find this information informative and you are interested in cybersecurity, please like and subscribe to the Cyber Overwatch channel. Nmap is a powerful and versatile tool, but I just touched on the surface of what it can do. In this video, I covered the purpose of version detection, including version detection parameters. I also covered OS detection and the information that Nmap provides in this output. I hope you found this information useful in building a foundation of knowledge about this powerful tool. I recommend reading the documentation on the nmap.org website and practicing on a test network, as it can help you gain the knowledge and experience needed to use Nmap effectively. Due to taking some time off, I needed to push the Nmap scripting engine and firewall evasion topics to another video. It will be part 5 of the series, and part 6 will be the Nmap demo. The information discussed in this video is gathered from my experience and research. Use this information I provided in a way that can best assist you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a question in the comments, or you can send me a message from the cybersec.com website listed in the description. Until next time, keep learning. The only way to improve is to keep learning. Pragmatic One, signing off.